It's time to get serious about your financial future. It's never too early, but it could be too late to get started. And that's oftentimes the hardest part, getting started. How much do I save? Where do I invest? Do I save for college or retirement? How much for each? And who do I talk to about it all? Okay, we'll keep things simple for now and help you answer the last one. We recommend you begin with a local financial advisor, and that's Jennifer Johnson of Three Magnolias Financial Advisors. She'll sit down with you for a complimentary introductory consultation and go over all of your questions. Get started on the path to achieving your financial goals. Visit 3magnoliasfinancialadvisors.com or call 336-701-1600. Get comfortable with your financial future. Three Magnolias Financial Advisors, retirement, financial planning, and investments. Securities offered through Private Client Services, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Three Magnolias Financial Advisors. Three Magnolias Financial Advisors and Private Client Services are not affiliated. Private Client Services is under separate ownership from any other named entity. The upcoming podcast of Twin City Talk is produced by Tim Beeman of Such and Such Media. Start your own podcasting journey by visiting suchandsuchmedianc.com. These podcasts are produced weekly, and every episode can be found at their website, twincitytalk.com.
Welcome to Twin City Talk. Today we are talking with Adam Andrews. Welcome.
Hey, how's it going?
So you own quite a few restaurants in our area. Can you tell us a little about all of them?
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
You gotta be here.
Like a quick, let's see, let's start with Young Cardinal, breakfast, spot 8 to 3, 7 days a week now. We just started that. Dogwood Hops and Crops, mostly craft beer, the trophy room next door, bourbon bar. We have everything, but we specialize in bourbon. Twisted Pine, tacos, smash burgers, Jeffrey Adams. I don't want to say steakhouse, but a little bit of everything. Right on 4th.
And then you just opened the new one.
The Mercantile, which is in King, North Carolina. That's a steakhouse.
What was on 4th? What was that one?
On 4th Street?
Yeah, what did you just say on that?
Oh, the last one, the Mercantile Chop House.
Oh, okay.
Which is in King. We just opened up New Year's Eve.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's fun there.
It's really nice.
Very
Because
cool.
I just went. That table is really cool with the fire display.
So that's actually a water vapor with lighting. And it looks like flame. I'm sure you've seen
Yeah,
it.
it's very
cool
cool.
looking.
We put like a 12 top around, seat 12 people around it. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I haven't been to Mercantile yet.
You can come check it out.
Yeah, I would definitely will.
It's, small restaurant, 64 seats, right where I like it. Not too big. Just,
But big enough to justify.
Right.
How
It's
big's
not
Jeffrey Adams?
3 level. Jeffrey Adams is 3 levels.
Is it 3?
But we don't use we call it the wine cellar, the basement.
That's
We
a
use that
special
like during
events.
specialty parties. I mean, they seat without the cellar, 170 people. So you pack that out, it's a lot. It's a lot of staff. Our kitchen's upstairs. You got run food down 2 flights of stairs.
Right.
Which is crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Need a dumbwaiter.
Yeah.
The trophy room is a really cool space. It's got its own vibe.
Yeah. We're at 7 years there now. I think 7 or 8 years there on
you can
Liberty Street.
Talk about the little lockers that people, because that's pretty cool.
It's cool. We got a list long names who want one. We don't have any more, but you purchase a locker, so basically you can buy a bottle of liquor from us, right? So you're basically prepaying for what you're getting.
It looks cool too around the bar.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we light those up, and then we, whatever name you want to put on it, get you a little plaque, you get a number, you get free mixers.
It's an adventure just walking around looking at the names on the plaques.
Oh my gosh. There are some crazy ones out there. Yeah. Yeah, that's fun. We originally started with 12 lockers. And then we just kept building them and building them and building them.
How long have you been in the restaurant business?
It'd be 30 years.
30? Yeah.
Yes.
How'd you get started?
Town and Country and King washing dishes.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I tell the story a lot. I think Sight the One magazine, I did it last thing. But anyway, yeah, I was looking, I would look up the line and I see those guys cooking, a lot of action. And it's kind of crazy. I'm very lucky because I knew exactly what I wanted to do, right? When I was 15 years old, I knew I wanted to be in the restaurant business. Like I think maybe my creative writing class or something, I wrote a paper on what my restaurant's going to look like. And
Do you still have that paper?
no, I wish I did. It'd be funny.
would
But
be.
yeah, like
Do you have the restaurant in that paper?
not necessarily. I mean, you're talking when was this? 1996. I think I had a lot of plants around. Yeah, but yeah, it's crazy. I just, I feel sorry for some of these kids who don't know what they want to do in life. And I just feel fortunate that I knew what I wanted and I had a dream, I had a goal, and I did it. And I always tell people, like these younger kids growing up, if I can do it, trust me, you can do it. 'Cause I barely passed high school. Like, it's my work ethic that got me there.
Yeah.
Well, that's
And
it,
like,
right?
if you don't have it, yeah, it's not going to happen.
What's your favorite part of the business?
I used to say people. That's changed. Man, I like just the action. I get bored really easily, right? Just the action thing, working under pressure. My staff, like I really love. I wouldn't say I'm really a people person, but the family feel of having a staff, and you got some young people that you train, you bring up, and it's amazing to see. Where this kid started with me when he was 15 years old, and now he's one of my kitchen managers at 24. Things like that. I really enjoy seeing that, making a difference in someone's life
What's
for the positive.
More challenging part of it?
Not enough time in the day. Don't get enough time with my family. Miss a lot of soccer games, basketball games. Just little stuff. I was going to go to a concert tonight, right? Nirvana cover band at Ramcat. Very excited. Hour ago. Chef, I can't come in. I had a death in the family, right? Stuff like that. So who's going to cover it? It's
Chef.
me.
Yeah.
That's the only hardest part.
Yeah.
And, you work every day. I go to a lot of concerts. And when when I have enough staff, I always, we'll go to Asheville or Charlotte. And so those are, if I don't have a family function, that's like my time off work. Otherwise, I'm there. And with all these places, you have to be there. To me, unless you just have the bomb ass manager that is like you, and that's very hard to find. But yeah, I think being in there and working the line, there's not a job I would ask of someone that I would not do myself, right? So yeah, that's the hardest part.
How many employees do you have across all of your restaurants and businesses? Because I guess you wouldn't say Dogwood or Trophy Room would be a
wouldn't count
restaurant.
those. I don't know. I mean, not as many as you would think. Well, with the catering company,
Oh, I forgot
yeah.
about Easy
maybe
Tiger.
100. Yeah, we have a catering company too. Yeah, maybe around 100.
You forgot about Easy Tiger. You didn't mention that.
Oh yeah, Easy Tiger.
Because that's a new one.
That's a new one. Yeah, that one's cool.
It's a cool
we got
space,
great
too.
outdoor.
Oh, the letters. Talk about the letters. That's cool.
Oh yeah, those came from the Winston Tower building. Yeah. So David. So actually, Easy Tiger was me and David, Joey, and Austin. We just basically say, oh yeah, let's just go in together. None of us really have time for it, right? So 4 of us went in together on that, and we all went in 25% and said, all right, let's do this. None of us going to make money, but at least we have somewhere to have a beer. I've been there twice since we've opened. So yeah, it's not working out for me. But yeah.
Do you spend more of your time at any one location, or are you constantly bouncing?
So right now I'll bounce if they need me. Before I opened the Mercantile in King, like I was full-time catering. Legacy Stables, that I'm their in-house caterer there, so they do a lot of stuff. So I built a catering kitchen down in the basement of Young Cardinal, and I have a chef now, but I would still help out there. But right now it's full-time Mercantile, and I love cooking breakfast. I love flipping eggs. I really miss being at Young Cardinal. I haven't cooked there in since we opened. I mean, Mercantile was the New Year's Eve. So I've been there since we've opened. So one of these days I'll get back once I get a staff.
What's your favorite food to make?
Man, I don't know. I'm not a frou chef. That I just like the business, and I like to put out good food, simple food. I love cooking eggs because we do our eggs in egg pans, right? So literally use 2 saute burners to do the eggs, right? That's it. I've always prided myself on that. 'Cause some guys are like, oh, you only do it with 2 burners, and this guy's got 5 going with 5 pans. I pride myself of being a fast egg cooker. So, I use 2 of them, right? So that's kind of like my favorite. And, cooking steaks here lately at the Mercantile Chop House, like, you kind of get burnt out on certain things and you go do something different. You get burnt out on that. And so it's really cool to come back and get back on the grill at the Chop House and grill steaks. So
springtime brings so many special occasions, so why not spring into Dewey's for all your celebration needs? From custom, unique cakes to balloons and party tableware to the perfect gift, Dewey's is your one-stop shop in the Triad. Even if you don't have a big event on the horizon, it's always a great day to stop by your local Dewey's Bakery, especially on Mondays for a free Cake Square Day. No purchase necessary and available all year round at any of their Triad area locations in Winston-Salem at Thruway Shopping Center and Renolda Manor, and in Greensboro at the Friendly Shopping Center. Need to place that order now? Visit local.deweys.com, and as a listener of the Triad Podcast Network, you'll receive 25% off by using the code PODCAST. Our friends at Dewey's are always finding great ways to give back to our local community, providing millions of dollars to nonprofits. Your organization can also partner with Dewey's to raise money. Just email cake@deweys.com to learn more. Don't miss the chance to make your event even more special with an order at local.deweys.com. Use the promo code PODCAST for 25% off. Dewey's. Celebrate every day.
That's an art.
That is
cooking
an
a
art.
steak
It
is
is.
an art.
And especially when you have these big-ass 25-ounce
Right?
bone in, dry age ribeyes that you can't screw up.
I was going to say.
Right?
Yeah,
Because you're going to lose.
mess up a couple of eggs, you're all right.
Yeah.
But,
When it comes to big steaks, well, not these days. You wanna mess up any egg.
Yeah.
I mean, even that diner is adding a 50 cent per egg.
Waffle House.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You allowed
yeah,
to say that on here? Yeah.
yeah. I was just out of respect for you, was not going to say that.
Oh, no, that's fine. Listen, I text the dude that types up my menus last Friday. I'm like, all right, so if I need to do a menu change for Young Cardinal and go up, how fast can we get this done? And then, I thought about it. I'm like, all right, Young Cardinal is pretty expensive to begin with. It is an expensive breakfast. So I think I'm just going to wait this one out. I'll take the bite on it and not raise prices. But eggs have, as you know, more than doubled,
yeah.
Yeah,
tripled.
Yeah.
yeah. And there's a bird flu right now. That's
That's the cost.
and then that's also affecting some dairy cows. So,
yeah.
yeah. So it's
So we'll see what happens. The food chain's really weird, man. I mean, we try to keep local. We have our own farm that we grow a lot of our produce from.
yeah. I was about to ask about that because I know you have your own.
We've expanded. Like, we have another greenhouse. I hired a farm manager. So my stuff that was in King that we were growing, my greenhouse and stuff, we're going to move that to her land in Salisbury. And she just put up like a, 50 by 100 greenhouse we put together.
Wow.
We didn't put it together. We paid to put it together, but she is running that. So now we're growing her lettuces, tomatoes, all of our microgreens. And this is the first time for us doing it in the wintertime. It's pretty exciting. I did a fresh mozzarella tomato salad the other night in King because those greenhouse tomatoes, were just so damn good. And I'm like, this is weird in the middle of winter, but we have it. This is fresh.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Nice.
We don't promote it as much as we should, but Yeah, I mean, next to Twisted Pine, like all of our peppers and a lot of our tomatoes, all the herbs for the bar, like we grow all that shit. And it's cool. Like that's something I wish I had more time to do.
It's very
full
cool.
time.
It is good.
Yeah.
It's fun. Especially when you didn't know what you're doing. I read a book, Gardening for Dummies, started it off, and now, you know, we have a farm manager. It's great.
You need to get chickens for your eggs.
I know. It's crazy. Like there's a guy in Stokes County that he does a lot of local eggs. Anyway, we've been talking, and I think all my eggs at Young Cardinal is about to be straight from him, which is great.
Yeah.
Probably something I won't promote, but that's, you know,
Yeah.
just like my beef at Twisted Pine. Like all these cows I'm buying for the steakhouse, you know, all that grind that comes out of a cow, the ground beef grind, it's like 300 pounds, right? So what am I going to do with all this? Yeah, it's cheaper to buy that cow, right? But for example, beef tenderloin, you're going to get 2 beef tenderloins out of the cow. You can sell that in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
What about all this other stuff? That's where we got to get creative, and we do, you know, specials, you know, like the skirt steak and just all kinds of stuff. And if we can't get rid of it, we ground it, right? Grind it up, make burger patties. They all go to Twisted Pine. So all that is the home-raised cattle. It doesn't say it on my menu. I don't talk about it much. But I think it's pretty cool, too. We're just basically going the circle, right?
And it's also staying in the community, which is great.
Yep.
Yes.
That's very cool.
Yep.
You should promote that more. That's important.
I know. I just, you know what? I'm too busy. I'm too busy grilling steaks and stuff, flipping eggs.
I got a person.
Yeah, I need somebody to start pushing this stuff.
And so what do you love about Winston-Salem?
Man, you know what? The growth of it's cool. You know, let's see, I grew up in Rural Hall. I went to culinary school in Pittsburgh. I moved back here as a chef at the filling station when I think I was 22 or 23. So I remember when Sweet Potatoes opened up that restaurant and everybody's like, oh
so
my
sad
God,
they
what's
closed.
going on? What is this? And then just to see the growth,
Yeah.
even down to the West End, your place. I mean, the Innovation Quarter, and it's going to keep moving. I think it's cool.
It's very cool.
Yeah, there's good people
and
here.
it keeps going, you know. And,
Yeah.
and the people, like you said, everybody seems to just have everybody's back. They want to see the expansion. You know, everybody's for it. And I mean, some of these areas where stuff is popping up, like the grounds, for instance, when we were talking about that not long ago. No, any direction you want to go in,
There's
usually
something
something
popping.
gravitates to a certain area, you know. And it's not. It's all just kind of going in every direction. It's really cool. Really cool to see.
Yep.
Yeah.
The ground's going to be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like using what's your favorite. But if you were going to Young Cardinal right now, what would you order?
Oh, man. Me personally?
Yeah. I mean, just right
Man,
now.
I'm a simple guy. I'm a 2 eggs, bacon, hash brown kind of guy.
How do you like your eggs?
Scrambled.
Same.
That's me too.
That's what I get when I go
The
to
way
Young
with your
Cardinal.
chairs is good. I know you're a
That's
fan of that.
my favorite. That's one of my favorite dishes in the entire town.
The burrito, I think, is good. You know, I think having some options to where you're building to me, like to be able to go in somewhere and build your own omelet's gangster, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people can't pull that off because it's just, it's a lot of work for the cooks. It's a lot of organization for the expos to put those items up in a row so that the outside expo can get those in order. You know, it's a lot of work, and I think that's exciting there. So yeah, just building your own stuff I think is cool. We can do that with the hash brown bowl. We can do that with the grit bowl. There's just a lot of options.
How about Twisted Pine?
Gonna have to go with the burger there.
Yeah,
This one
smash
sounds funny.
burger.
I like the Young Cardinal burger. It's got hash browns, American cheese, bacon, fried egg,
Yeah.
mayonnaise.
It's everything you want plus the burger.
Yes.
Jeffrey Adams.
Ribeye, 14 ounce, or actually the beef risotto. It's beef risotto with wild mushrooms, sauteed spinach, caramelized onions, and then it's beef tenderloin tips, and then we put a demi-glace on top of the tips. It's just a great flavor combination. There's a Moroccan stew. My chef there, John, he was my sous chef until I opened up the Mercantile, put it that way. And now he is the head chef. And he is He's amazing, and some of the dishes he is doing is just like I give him free reign. Like he'll run something by me. I'm like, dude, listen, I trust you. Just do it, man. You don't have to ask me.
Yeah.
I don't even have to taste it, man. I trust you. And he has done some really cool things. And I think our menu there has stepped up a notch, to be honest. One thing I've always said about there is it's not fine dining. It's not mom and pops. It's just kind of right in the middle. You can get a good steak and you can get a good burger. You can get a good salad.
It's fine casual.
That's a good word.
Yeah.
I should use that in my...
You should.
When you start promoting for me,
There we go.
remember that. Fine casual.
Fine casual.
And then finally, the mercantile. What would you order in there?
I think I'm a big fan on the seafood side of the red grouper there. I would get a dry aged steak. So in that, I don't know if you know, but in that building, we lease a spot to Mitchell's, and it's a butchery, right? Mm-hmm. So I actually have a dry aged cabinet in the dining room, and so we hang up beef and we let it go for 3 weeks, and then those guys will take it, carve it up for us, and those are our features every night. Some nights we don't have some, but that's a local farmer that's raising cows just for us, which is awesome. So any of the dry aged meat, I think I would go for.
Excellent.
We got cool drink menu. Sorry, I'm not trying to promote. Sorry.
Well, that's why we're here.
It's like the thing about this place is, I wanted it small, I wanted it intimate, I wanted it to have the old school look. So I got the bulb lighting, I got the wallpaper, I got the red chair, fabric on the chair is red. Kind of like that old school steakhouse feel, without being too pretentious and keeping it affordable. And I think King had a need for a place like that, in my opinion.
Definitely. Yeah.
There's great restaurants. Town and Country, John Vlas's, who is one of my closest friends, he owns a restaurant down the road. That's where I grew up, working in his restaurant. They do a good job. You got Little Italy across the street, but I think, between Winston and King, you go up University Parkway, there's really just not a lot of restaurants that's not fast food.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to getting out there, seeing Mercantile.
Dude, you need to come check it out. And
Nice.
the part of the old school, like, listen, all those buildings that are right there, and there's 12. Mm-hmm. Man, they've been empty for years, or it's like some weird something in there. There's Haley's Bakery, which is there. I can't remember. There's a bakery literally right beside her, and then there's 2 restaurants, and there's another bar being built across the street. We're getting a brewery behind us.
Oh, cool.
So you're talking about a small town popping off
All at the same time.
all at the same time, which is going to be awesome.
Yeah, they definitely need some growth there, so that's good.
And
That part of town was a ghost town, really.
it was. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The
And
building.
it's a cool area.
It is.
It is a cool little
and
area.
it is growing. I think they're building 6 neighborhoods right now. So there's a lot of pushback from what I call king folk of seeing the area grow, and they don't like it.
Yeah.
But it's part of
You're
life.
taking my small town away.
Yeah,
We want Kang, not King.
that's right. That's another item. I put on the appetizer, King Shrimp.
King Kang shrimp?
Yeah, it's actually on the menu.
Nice.
I didn't know if anybody would get that. I thought it was funny.
We get it.
Yeah, we get it.
You guys get it.
Yeah. People from Winston get it because we know
Right.
it's
Well,
Kang.
even in King, they say King, as a joke.
Yeah.
But growing area. And I don't know, it's cool. It's kind of like the good old boys there. You know what I mean? I grew up in Rehoboth, but I went to Stokes County schools, and, once again, just like Winston, very nice people. And, we did as much as the construction on the building with all local folks. And I don't know, it's just nice. It's a good feeling to have that local support.
Yeah. Bringing community in to do the build, and the community rallies around it. It's a really nice.
It's something you see in a movie, like for real. It's crazy.
Well, at one point, obviously, it was thriving, or those buildings wouldn't have already been there. So bringing it all back like that is, that's a return to glory that it once was,
Right.
and it deserves to be. So I love that stuff.
So I think the building I bought, it's where the Mercantile is. It was I think it had been out of business for a couple of years, but it was a furniture store / ammo. So you can go buy furniture, and then they built like a room this size inside the building, inside the furniture room,
With the
that you
shooting.
can buy ammo. I always say, only in King can you see something like that. That's crazy.
Get a lazy boy and AR-15.
Yeah.
Call it a day.
Sit back in your recliner and shoot things
And it's
up.
called Jerry's Furniture. And so I got
Sounds right.
always, if anybody who doesn't really know the area that well, they're like, well, which building was it? I'm like, the furniture in the ammo building.
Was there a
Got it.
Western
There you
Auto
go.
there?
What's that?
Was there a Western Auto there?
I think that's the hardware store that was behind us.
Okay.
At some point back
Okay.
in the day. Yes.
Okay. All right. So what's next? What's Adam up to after all
What's
this?
after this?
All right. So
I love that this place has been open a month and a half. And it's like, well, I just hang on.
I
What's
try to
next?
do something once a year if I can.
Yeah.
Isn't that great? I'm actually leasing a space in Advance right now since November that I'm paying lease for that I haven't gotten open yet. But yes, Twits Upon sells a lot of burgers. But the more beef steaks that I sell in King, the more ground beef I'm getting. So I have a place that I'm going to turn into a burger joint. I love for somebody to come and just run that thing and be partners or make either a great salary or owner salary or partner up or something. It could be a great gig for somebody. But I think burgers, hot dogs, simple, nice, good, quick food. I won't tell you the location yet in case it falls through, but
Sure.
I'm paying for it month to month right now.
When the weather warms up, so does the real estate market. Sounds obvious, right? It's true. Spring typically means more home sales. But how will the current interest rates affect people's decisions? What about inventory? Is it high or low? And does that benefit the buyer or the seller? And how do those factors take into account a certain price point or area of the triad? Now it's not so obvious, is it? That's why you should turn to the Ginther Group to make sense of it all. You need someone you can rely on to assess your situation, read the data and trends, and point you in the right direction. Interest rates, inventory, even new construction. There are so many factors that impact our local market. And you should get your information from the folks right here in our backyard. Contact Blake Ginther and the Ginther Group today. 336-283-8689 or visit theginthergroup.com. Buying, selling, investing, or just learning. Whatever you need, start now. And like me, you can become a Ginther Group client for life.
And then, I really want to do another Young Cardinal.
Do you know where, like area-wise?
I wanted to do one on Robin Hood Road, but they already have a breakfast spot just opened up not too long ago, right?
Yeah.
And I've been saying for the last 3 years, Robin Hood Road, Robin Hood Road, Robin Hood Road. But I don't have deep pockets, so I couldn't just make that happen. And I don't really like to partner up with anybody. I like to do it myself. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword.
How about Kernersville? Anything in Kernersville? Yeah. All right.
I can't talk about it.
Okay.
But yeah, Kernerville's another great area.
They're growing too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But
We'll call it won't be Winston-Salem anymore. It'll be Adam Andrews.
I think I'm done downtown Winston, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'd be
There's lots
mad
of
at
areas of
myself to do
Winston,
something else. Like, you know when you like get tired of yourself, you run out of ideas. Like, you know what? I'm 44 now. Like, I don't want to. I'll take that back. I'm always thinking, but I don't want to work so hard of trying to come up with a concept. Take something that's successful and maybe put it somewhere else. And I think that's the path I need to go through now.
So how can people find out about all your restaurants?
AndrewsRestaurantsWS.com. That has a link to everything.
Gotcha. That's great. It's all in one place. And you're on all social medias, I'm assuming.
Yep. Courtney does all of our social media.
So people can find you there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Facebook, Instagram, which, we don't do a whole lot of posting on the Mercantile. I know you're big in social media, but it just makes me sick. Like when I first opened the Mercantile, I'm like, you know what? I'm not doing social media.
That's what
I'm not
people
doing
call
Facebook.
me.
I'm not doing Mercantile. I'm not going to do Instagram. I'm not doing any of that because I get so tired of people's mouths.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? Let's just not do social media. And then one of my bartenders was like, you really got to, Adam. This is the way of the world. And I'm like, no, I get it. But anyway, so we do have an Instagram account for Mercantile. We don't have Facebook. And I think we made like 2 or 3 posts. But I would love just to see, like, okay, what will you do without Instagram and Facebook? Are you going to be successful? We were back in the day, right? Restaurants did their thing without social media. I would love to prove, like, all right, we do 0 social media and we're still a successful restaurant.
Yeah.
I would love to prove that. I may take my Instagram account down today. Y'all got me worked up.
Oh, jeez.
Can I join you?
Yes, let's do it.
I think when you were on another podcast, you got all worked up.
I did.
Yeah.
With Brooke.
Yes.
I get worked up at people because they don't know the effort you put in.
Yeah.
Don't get me started.
They don't know. And you try to like make things perfect, like, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was at work at yesterday for 15 hours. I didn't sit down. I didn't eat for 15 hours yesterday, 14 hours. At that 15 hour, I had a beer. But I worked my ass off, you know? For somebody to come and bash some stuff that, you know, maybe one of my cooks messed up, whatever. Like you had said earlier, you're not in the business for bashing.
Right. I build up.
Right. Yeah. Build up. There's too much bashing. There's too many self-proclaimed food critics. There's, you know, I just wish if you have to work in a restaurant, if you are only allowed to leave a review if you have worked in a restaurant for a year, either a server or a cook, you got to know what you're talking about. With some of these idiots, they don't know what they're talking about. They just blah, 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 blah.
Well, it's even worse than that, right? You know, anybody with an opinion now will take social media, but to validate their existence or whatever. And it's like the things that kill me are if you went up to the counter, you know, and said, "Hey, hate to complain, but here's the issue, whatever," and somebody treated you poorly, didn't fix your problem, didn't care, whatever. You know, okay, maybe you've got a grievance. Still don't think it needs to be aired to everybody, but whatever. But the stuff that kills me is when people say nothing, do nothing, and then they want to take it to social media and make some giant deal out of nothing. And you're going, did you even ask for, you know, somebody to take a look or correct or, you know, hear you out? No, most of the time that's not the case. They just want to be important.
Yeah, they have diarrhea of the mouth and want to just spout out and don't care. And they have their people who are their minions who will get on there. Yeah, I didn't like that place anyway. And, you know, it's all that stuff. And it helps nobody except for the people doing it. It makes them feel important
when they're not.
Right.
Yeah.
You hear a funny
want to
story?
get on that?
This happened last week. Dude at the bar at the Mercantile. We have 9 or 10 seats at the bar, right? We have 2 bartenders. Clearly, they are paying attention to their guests. They know what's going on. So I'm in the kitchen. My manager came, and she had a half of a steak in a black beverage napkin. And she said, "This fell out of the guy's pocket going out of the door. I thought it was a frog, but it's a piece of beef in a napkin." So I'm like, that's weird. Maybe he's trying to take it home or whatever. And then later on that night, there's a review, and the guy said, "Oh, no, on his ticket, his receipt paper, he said, my steak was cooked raw. I left it at the front door." And I asked my bartender, I'm like, "Hey, yo," because that's who it came from. I'm like, clearly you're right there. Did you check them? Yeah, they said everything was great. Everything was fine. He was very confused. This guy puts a steak in his pocket and just drops it at the front door on purpose, and then goes online and starts bashing about how nobody knew his steak was undercooked, right? Guess what? It happens. Sometimes a steak's going to be undercooked.
Not for me.
Every once in a while, yeah. Or overcooked. It doesn't happen much, but it does. You know, at our place, I mean, we strive on no recooks. Me and my guys in the kitchen. It's kind of like
look what what are you cooking? You're cooking high dollar stuff.
Yes.
You know, so you can't afford to mess it up.
No.
Maybe one.
Like you lose one steak, you got to sell like 4 more to make up for that, right?
Yeah.
That's just crazy. People won't just say something to
Yeah,
somebody.
just say
like,
something.
Oh, this
You know
is
why? Because they'd
filthy.
rather complain.
I know, that's true.
They'd rather complain
They're addicted to outrage.
Yeah, that's
It's-
Well, he
it's
got
a
me.
really
He
weird
threw a
place.
steak on the floor.
that's crazy.
Got me. Got me.
Drat.
Yeah.
You ever read Theodore Roosevelt's "It's Not the Critic Who Counts"? Oh, read that. It's
Is it
like this
good?
long. Oh yeah, it's just a quote from him. I've actually got it on my studio wall.
that's cool.
Had it written out on the wall. Basically, it's just it's not the critic who counts. It's the doer of deeds. It's the person who's in the arena. It's called Man in the Arena. And it's the person in the arena who, whether they succeed or whether they fail, they've made a difference by trying. And they'll never be with those timid souls who have never known victory or defeat. It's so
Yes.
good. If you haven't, read that, go read that. It's really cool. Yeah, that's a good one. It's a classic.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Sorry I went on a rant.
No.
Are you kidding me?
We
It's the best
like
part.
rants.
Hell yeah,
We
that's
like
I
awesome.
told Tim, like, one of these, a couple months ago, last year, I'm like, dude, we need to do like a real life restaurant, like just
Please come to me.
It's not
Let's
a lot
do
of
it.
time, man, but that would be awesome.
That would be.
Like the real stories, like, to me, it's entertaining. Like,
Yeah.
get
Come,
some
we'll do
stories.
it one time a month. We'll do 4 episodes one time a month. That's all we got to do.
We'll just pick up, just have one each. See, that's why I can't do this stuff. Like, I got the vocabulary of a second grader. One topic.
But you have
one
the
topic.
wisdom of at least
sage.
Well, I
a
don't know about
sage.
wisdom,
So
but I got
the experience.
But yeah, I think that would be cool. I mean, just to bring different chefs in or restaurants owners and then tell
Coffee
the
shop
stories. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm sure y'all may already do that like all the time, right? Don't you do the?
I haven't. So let's get back to it.
But I mean, the nitty gritty, dirty stuff that you just like.
Let's do
Like
it.
leaving steaks on the floor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I have the forum.
All right. Well,
Good to
thank you.
talk to you, man.
Yeah, thank
Really
you.
enjoyed this.
Oh yeah, this is fun.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
All
again.
right. I'm out of here. I'm going to King, North Carolina.
Hold on.
done?
Thanks for joining Twin City Talk. You can find us
Oh,
on
yes.
Instagram and Facebook. The views and opinions portrayed by guests on this podcast are not necessarily those of the distributors and hosting companies. And if you love this podcast, that's great, but don't think about stealing it. Reach out to us and talk about the content because it is copyrighted.